In a world where the ground itself burns, where rivers of fire carve scars through stone and ash, falls like endless snow, life should not exist. This is a kingdom of pure destruction, a place where the very air is poison and the land is liquid stone. It is a canvas painted with inferno, a landscape sculpted by chaos and unrelenting heat. Here, survival is not just improbable, it is a contradiction to the laws of nature. The earth groans under the pressure of molten rock, and the sky is choked with soot, a perpetual twilight of gray and orange. Nothing, it would seem, could withstand this hellscape. No plant could take root in burning soil. No creature could draw breath from the toxic fumes. And yet, in the very heart of the inferno, something stirs. Amidst the searing heat and the silent fall of ash, a flicker of movement defies the desolation. A spark moves, fragile and glowing, a tiny beacon of defiance against the overwhelming power of the volcano. It is a whisper of life in a symphony of destruction, a single impossible pulse. She is the fireborn. This is her story. They call her Pyraea, the Ember Queen, a name spoken only by the crackle of cooling lava and the hiss of superheated steam. She is a creature born not of soil or water, not of flesh and blood as we know it, but of pure, unrelenting flame. Her existence is a paradox, a miracle forged in the crucible of the earth's fury. Her body is a testament to this impossible origin. Her shell, a marvel of biological engineering, glows with a translucent, fiery light, like stained glass holding back a sunrise. Through this delicate armor, you can see her lifeblood, not red, but a river of molten gold, pulsing with the heat of the planet's core. She is both impossible and inevitable, a creature of fire that simply refuses to die. As she takes her first steps upon the fractured, obsidian-like crust of a cooling lava flow, her form is a spectacle of alien beauty. Her delicate wings, not yet ready for flight, shimmer with a visible heat haze, distorting the air around them. Beneath her chitinous skin, embers pulse with a rhythmic, hypnotic glow, a tiny furnace contained within a living vessel. She moves with a slow, deliberate grace, a stark contrast to the violent world around her. Each leg placement is precise, testing the stability of the ground, her antennae twitching, tasting the chemical-laden air. She is a queen surveying her desolate, incandescent kingdom. Around her, nothing lives. The air is a toxic cocktail of sulfur dioxide and carbon monoxide, a lethal brew that would suffocate any other terrestrial creature in an instant. The ground is a treacherous mosaic of liquid stone and razor-sharp volcanic glass. The silence is profound, broken only by the subterranean rumble of the volcano and the sharp crack of cooling rock. This is a realm of absolute endings, where life is scoured away, leaving only elemental fury. But for Pyraea, this is not an ending. This is home. She thrives where the world itself burns. The very elements that spell death for others provide sustenance for her and her kind. They have evolved a unique metabolism, one that allows them to feed on the rich mineral deposits found within cooling magma. With specialized mouthparts, they scrape away the crystallizing surface, extracting vital nutrients that are inaccessible to any other form of life. It is a diet of stone and fire. Their life cycle is intrinsically woven into the volcanic activity. The larvae of her species are not born into the open air, but are buried deep within layers of still warm ash. Here, nestled in the earth's fading warmth, they are nourished by the dying breath of the volcano. growing strong in a geothermal incubator, safe from the harsh realities of the surface. In this realm of chaos, Pyraea is queen. Her reign is absolute, not through force or aggression, but through perfect adaptation. No predator hunts her, for no predator could survive the journey into her world. The birds that circle the distant, cooler peaks dare not venture into the heat and poison of the caldera. The land is too barren for any terrestrial hunter. She is utterly alone, and in that solitude she is sovereign. She is the apex of this fiery ecosystem, a monarch in a kingdom of one. Her rule is not one of power, but of surrender. She does not command the fire. She becomes one with the fire itself. She moves in harmony with the shifting landscape, her instincts tied to the subtle changes in temperature and pressure. When she finally spreads her iridescent wings, fully formed and strong, the inferno seems to bend to her rhythm. As she takes flight, a tiny, glowing jewel against a backdrop of molten fury, the air currents generated by the immense heat lift her effortlessly. Legions of her kind, newly emerged, rise with her. They swirl in mesmerizing patterns above the molten streams, a living constellation of embers dancing in the toxic air. They are a manifestation of the volcano's own life force, a fleeting, beautiful expression of its power. But even fire grows cold. The relentless energy of the volcano is not infinite. After a long period of activity, the pressure from below subsides, and the great mountain begins to sleep. As the lava flows slow to a crawl and the incandescent glow of the crater fades, Pyraea's world begins to change. The source of her life and her power wanes, and with it, her own vitality. Her light, once a brilliant beacon, begins to dim. The molten gold in her veins cools and thickens. The once vibrant pulse of the embers beneath her skin slows to a faint flicker. Her wings, which once rode the thermal updrafts with such grace, grow stiff and brittle. The heat that sustained her now deserts her. The Queen of Flame, the ruler of the Inferno, becomes a mere shadow of ash and memory, her body losing its fiery translucence, turning a dull, matte black. And as she collapses into the dust, her life's energy spent, the world above her cools. The final embers of the lava fields turn to black, inert stone. The air, though still toxic, loses its shimmering heat haze. Silence, deep and profound, descends upon the landscape once more. The reign of the Ember Queen is over, but beneath the silence, something moves. Life finds a way, even in the embers of a dead fire. Buried in the warm soil, protected from the chilling air, her legacy awaits. The eggs she laid, the future of her lineage, begin to stir. Her final act is not one of surrender, but of sacrifice. As her body decays, it does not simply turn to dust. In a final, convulsive release, it emits a burst of concentrated heat, the last ember of her reign, a final gift to her children. This surge of warmth is the trigger. One by one, deep within their ashen nursery, the larvae awaken. Their tiny bodies, no bigger than a grain of rice, begin to glow faintly with her inherited fire. They carry her spark, her resilience, her impossible will to live. They emerge from the cooling ash, a new generation born into a changing world. Their first sight, a sky no longer choked with the orange glow of their mother's time. They are fragile, yet they possess the same unyielding spirit that defined their queen. Pyraea's fire is gone, but it is not lost. It has been passed on, transformed, and renewed. Her children rise beneath a crimsoned dawn, the first true sunrise this land has seen in an age. They will carry her light into the next era of flame, waiting patiently for the mountain to stir once more. In this world of violent endings and improbable beginnings, the cycle never ends. It is a story of death and rebirth written in fire and stone. The Ember Crown burns on. It is not an individual, not a single creature of the fire, but the fire itself, an eternal, undying spirit of life that persists in the most hostile place on earth. It is a crown passed from one generation to the next, a symbol of life's incredible power to adapt, to endure, and to find beauty in the heart of destruction.